just for a few seconds before, as yes, indeed, here we are, guys. Nicola here, Teresa.
Hi, guys. Good to see you.
We just came on a few seconds early just to give everybody time to catch up with our live stream today, because it is going to be action-packed. You are not going to want to miss it. So if you're here early, we'd love for you to like the video down below there, hit that like button. And if you're new to our channel, we're a tutorial channel on technical analysis, mindset for crypto trading, as well as scenario trading. And we've got a treat for you today. Yes, Teresa, it's time to start.
Yes.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to do technical analysis for Bitcoin. We've had a bit of a pullback. Are we going to dump a little bit more? It is new moon tomorrow, so let's talk about that. Teresa is going to talk about how to trade a blow off top so that when we get to the top of the market, you've got your strategy in place. We're going to look at the cascading effect of the market that we can be expecting since we are in Moonvember. We could be mooning this month. It's debatable as to whether or not this is the highest month or not. Traditionally, it is a good month for Bitcoin. We will look at Ethereum and SHIB INU. And if you want us to look at XRP and Sand, put it in the comment section, say hi. So we've got a big like to you. That's Obeda and Ras Negas Bloomfield. Hi, great. Oh, my highlight
Thanks,
for the weekend.
guys. Look,
that's beautiful.
I love that we have the same people coming back to each of our live streams too. We're getting to know you guys now. That's awesome. Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Totally awesome. So let's just quickly start with Bitcoin, and then I'll hand it over to Teresa, who will teach us strategies. So hopefully you've got a pen and paper handy so that you are taking notes, right? So with Bitcoin right now, it looks like we did have a little bit of a Bart Simpson. I think this was something I was warning about in the Discord server. If you are in our Discord server, which is Conscious Crypto, we came up Bart Simpson's head, we came down, and then we came back down again. And often we do get a little rally to the upside after a Bart Simpson. But are we going to create a higher low or a lower high? I meant a higher high or a lower high. That is the $24 million question, right? Have you had a look at Bitcoin?
Specifically 24 million.
Specifically 24 million, yeah. So now if we do a descending channel, you can see that we did have a bit of a fake out, and we have come back into the channel, and we're heading back here. So this channel is generally a bullish pattern, albeit we're going lower and lower in price until we finally break out and head back up to the top where the candle touches, which is around about, just needed to move the video out of the way there, touches at around about 64,232, somewhere around there. However, there are a lot of metrics in the chart. Smart money's putting shorts in right now. It's new moon tomorrow. We usually get a top out of the market and then a retracement. So it's possible we might not get that breakout here. We may just keep going down a little bit. But Teresa, I'm going to hand it over to you before we come back to Bitcoin. And you're going to be talking about how to trade a blow off top, because guys, we may get the blow off top in the next 6 weeks. So you need to start thinking about this and preparing for it.
Yeah, this is something we got a lot of questions on at the Conscious Crypto event, which is now a masterclass series you guys can buy. Actually, we did a lot of teaching, a lot of great experts teaching at that. So one of the things I committed to people on that call was I would do some even more detailed videos or tutorials on how to trade blow off tops and market dumping situations. So let me share my screen. And we're just going to come over. I actually created a little slide deck for you guys. And we'll just get diving in. Okay, so how to trade a blow off top. This is a typical pattern, what we'd be looking at if we were looking at a blow off top. So let's talk about what is a blow off top. It's basically an unsupported rapid rise. So in other words, we get a rise that's so rapid, there's not enough volume support under it. And then it's usually followed by a really precipitous fall, okay? when we think about the dominant market emotion of a blow off top, what we're really looking at is a market overreaction to something. In other words, a move is already happening in a direction, a market gets really excited, and then the market takes it so far in that direction that there isn't enough volume support to sustain the move, and it comes crashing back down. So blow off tops tend to look like this, okay? You'll notice on this particular chart pattern, I copied this one out, is we often see early on high volatility. You'll see there's a mini blow off top here leading into a much bigger blow off top. And often these early smaller blow off tops are indication that something bigger is about to happen, okay? Now, usually with the blow off top though, whatever the original reason for the market euphoria was, is still true. So blow off tops usually complete 30 to 50% higher than the original market move started. In other words, it settles back down to a level in the market that is somewhere between 30 and 50%. So usually the precipitous fall isn't the entire market move. It is somewhere between 50 and 70% of the market move that you will see after the blow off top. So that's really important to remember, because as you're trading them, you want to have these concepts in your mind as you trade them, because then you respond appropriately when you see what the market's doing, okay? Another important characteristic of blow off tops is the more mature an asset is, the less prone it is to blow off tops and the less severe they will be. So one of the things we saw in the early days of Bitcoin was the blow off tops were extreme, straight up, straight down. In the last few 4-year cycles, the blow off tops have been lesser and the retracements not as dramatic. So we might not be seeing Bitcoin as the most mature market asset here in the crypto space. If it does do a blow off top, it might not be as severe as what we've seen in past. However, if you're looking at something like altcoins, the blow off tops could be dramatic and extreme, right? So just always keep in mind how mature the asset is that you're talking about. Okay, so I'm going to give you, here's my steps for how I trade a blow off top, okay? And I highly encourage you to think about these and create your own steps, okay? Like, so if you're new, you're welcome to pattern yourself off other traders. But Nicola and my goal is to get you to a level of consciousness around your trading that you can start to make your own decisions. But what I really want to encourage you to do is have a strategy and practice it in your mind, especially if you wanted to be Michael Jordan and a pro all-star NBA player, you would practice the 3-point throws repeatedly. Like, you know, I think I read somewhere that he would stand there for 3 hours, sometimes doing nothing but practice 3-point throws. And that's because when extreme market moves are happening, FOMO and fear are high, right? They are opportunities to make massive amounts of money. They are opportunities to get absolutely wrecked if you buy into the FOMO or the FUD that is going on. So you want to have a strategy and you want to practice it in your head over and over and over again, so that when you're in the scenario, you can respond appropriately and trade appropriately, okay? So I would practice this on paper and in your mind multiple times before you ever try it with real money, okay? So here's the major signs that a blow off top is happening. The rise is too quick and with no real pullbacks. So the more you trade, the more you will get experienced at recognizing these. But what we're seeing is high upward volume and then nothing in the market. Normally the pullbacks are what support the price action. And if there's no pullbacks, then we're probably heading for a blow off top. And at the top of the blow off top, what you see is most of the indicators start to flip bearish. So whether you're looking at the stochastics, the RSI, everything's topping out. If you use some of the paid indicators like the DidiBam, it's going to start flipping bearish. And then as the pullback starts, you will see significant sell volume coming up in the market and very rapidly, right? So step one, most people, when there's a blow off top happening, experienced traders are often already in a long. But if you are recognizing the signs of that are about to happen and you're not in a long, it this is your point to enter the long. Okay. You want to do it conservatively with the normal risk management strategies. So I risk 2.5% of my portfolio every trade. So for me, this would be a 2.5% trade.
Can I just interrupt you there? Because I'm a bit confused. You
Sure.
said the blow off top is where you enter the long?
No, sorry. When you start to recognize that we may be coming up on a blow off top. So when you start to see the signs of precipitous rise, yeah, I get why that was confusing. So thank you for pointing it out.
Yeah, because you said the indicators have flipped bearish.
So, okay, so these are the major signs that you'll see throughout a blow-off top. So let's now go back to the beginning. Okay, so now we're at the beginning. We're seeing the two.
Trading the blow off. Sorry, Teresa, we're trading the blow off top, right? We're not getting into the blow off top.
No, you're actually trading the run up and the run down.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm showing people the 10 steps to trade both the upside and the downside of the blow off top. So thank you for clarifying that. I apologize for being confusing. So usually on the run up to a blow off top, you're either in a long or you see the signs and you enter it. In other words, you're seeing the rapid rise, you're getting into the long. Okay. So you're going to, step two then is you're going to, once you're in it and you know a blow off top is happening, you create your exit strategy immediately. So you're either going to enter a trailing stop loss. We have tutorial videos on how to do that. Or even better, if you know a blow off top is happening, you're going to sit at your computer and watch it and watch for when you see the indicators flipping so you know your exit point. Okay. Step two is my preferred, but if I can't sit at my computer, I will use the trailing stop loss because you're trading the run up. Okay. If you're at your computer and actively trading this, then you would be adding to your trade every time the stop loss moves into profit by a set amount. So that will depend on the asset. So for example, if you were trading Bitcoin, you might say every time the stop loss gets $1,000 in the clear, I'm going to add another 2.5% to this trade. Okay. Because the price is going to keep moving upward. So you want to create that formula for yourself. It will vary depending on whether it's XRP or Bitcoin or Ethereum, but you create that formula in your head. Okay. Now, sorry, I went in the wrong direction. So you're going to have a formula for when you stop adding. Okay. So personally, I watch a number of the indicators. The volume indicator, if it's showing higher than 70% on average volume, I also watch the BitMEX funding rate. And when the BitMEX funding rate is getting extreme, you know the move is running out of momentum. Okay. I also watch the RSI and the stochastics if they're all topping out. And personally, I use a paid indicator. I use the DidiBam. It will start to flip bearish at the top. Okay. So step three is you're basically watching for that top where you're getting out of the long, or unless you've walked away from the trade and you're using the trailing stop loss, in which case the ride back down is going to take you out of the trade. Okay. So once you exit the trade, this is the most important step. And I would like you to practice this step. You wait. The waiting is such an important aspect of making money on trading, and FOMO and FUD are high here. And if you feel high pressure to jump back in, this is the point people get wrecked. Until you're confident that the blow off top has turned, you do not re-enter the trade. Okay. So you're waiting because you may stop out and the blow off top is still going upward. You do not re-enter a blow off top on its way up. Like, so once you're out of the trade, if you called the exit point wrong, or if you stopped out early because of the volatility of the market, you wait. Okay. You will have made money at this point, but don't get greedy because this is a point where you'll get wrecked. Okay. So do not re-enter the trade while it's still on the way up. This is where inexperienced traders will lose a lot of money FOMOing in, trying to catch those last few cents of the blow off top. Okay. So while you wait, one of the most important steps, if you've been adding to the trade and scaling up on the way up, you are now going to look at your leverage and put it back down to 2x. This is another important point to practice because you do not want to have your settings wrong if you're entering the short on the way down. Okay. So this is one I practice in my mind. I practice waiting and I practice changing my leverage to 2x. Okay. Now you're waiting for the pause in the market. If you ever watched a blow off top live, there will be a point where the market simply pauses. And it's like the eye of the hurricane and everything will pause, right? Now you're watching all your indicators. Do the indicators agree the market is about to turn? I also watch large aggregate sites to see if large sell-off volume is starting to come into the market. I'm giving you one of the aggregate sites here right now for Bitcoin that you can go look up, okay? Then step 7, if I believe the pause is happening and we might be at the top, I start testing if the market has run out of momentum. And I do that by...
interrupt you there, Teresa? We've got a question. What time frame are you looking at on this?
I'm usually watching more than one time frames, but in the process of actively trading a blow off top, you're looking at the 3-minute time frame or shorter to see if the market has run out of momentum. Okay.
So you would look at the 1 hour or the 4 hour to see if we're coming into it, but then you go down into the smaller time frame to monitor
exactly. So if you're actively trading a blow off top, you're watching what's going on multiple time frames, because you want to see all the time frames, what's happening, okay, to make your decisions powerfully.
Can you go back one so that they can screenshot the aggregate site website?
There you go.
There it is. v3.agg.
And this will be on the recording too, so you can come back to the recording to get it. Okay. So at this point, once you're starting to hunch or your gut feel is we're at the top, you're now testing if we're at the top by putting in very small shorts. I do small, and this is why you want to have changed your leverage to 2x. I do small $100 shorts, $200 shorts to see if the market draws up to them. Because sometimes at the pause, it's simply run out of volume, but the momentum is still upward. I'm going to say that another way. There's still people with the upward volume orders in the market. It's just run out of things to buy, right? So if you place a short at that point and other people start putting in shorts, the momentum could still go upward and blow through them, okay? So you're testing whether there's still upward momentum with these very small trades. You're seeing whether the market pulls up to them or not. That's how you tell whether the freight train on the train tracks has truly stopped, okay? So if the market draws upward, it still has upward momentum. You're not ready to put the bigger shorts in yet, okay? So once you're confident the market has stopped and switched momentum and you start seeing all those big trades coming on the aggregate site, you put in a small short, a 2x leverage, okay? Very tight stop loss. You want to get out of this quickly if the upward momentum shifts and turns around, and blow off tops can change rapidly on a dime. So this is why this needs to be a small trade at a low leverage, because this is the trade you can get wrecked on. So this is the highest risk part of the trade, okay? And never go above your standard percentage risk, okay? Then you set up your trailing stop loss, or you're sitting at the computer and watching it live, but I recommend you do some version of both, okay? And you want to decide this in advance when you practice what your trailing stop loss is going to be, okay? So typically it would be far enough back to not trigger in the normal 15-minute move of the volatility that's going on in the market. Okay, I personally use the 15-minute time frame to determine this, okay? Then again, if that trailing stop loss triggers or you get nervous and come out of the trade, and I highly recommend if you get nervous, do come out of the trade, because you can lose a lot of money on this downward trade. You wait, you do not re-enter until there's another trade set up. And you actually practice in your mind waiting, because FOMO is extremely high, both at the beginning, middle, and end of a blow off top. And you need to notice your own mental mindset that there's going to be a part of you that really wants to jump back in. I would wait until you have clear market indicators of which way the market is going. Because sometimes what happens as blow off tops come back down is that we get a pause on the way down, or it stops out and then it keeps going down. So do not re-enter the short until you're clear which direction the market's going, until you have a clear pattern you're trading. Okay, so that's my 10 steps that I do. Again, you can scale in or scale out on both the way up and the way down. Okay, but those are the 10 steps that I practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going
Any
to clip
questions
this
on that?
up and make it a single, what do you call it? I'm sharing my screen now, am I?
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the button to have me stop sharing screen, and it's not coming up for me.
Okay.
So here it is. Sorry. Yeah, thanks. So let me flip over and just see if there was any questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelly wanted, if you could drop the link again for the aggregate site.
I'll grab that and throw that in. Yeah.
We're also going to make that a snippet video, so it will be in and on its own, and it would be good. Maybe we'll see if we've got time to put some charts in there. So we also had a question about doing, was it Revolut, which was the coin that the person was asking us about? Revolotto, yeah. So here's the deal with where we're at right now with Moonvember. This is the best month for Bitcoin and altcoins traditionally, coming towards the end of the bull run. And there's talk about an extended season. We may go through to February, maybe March, or November could be the top of the market, which is why we really wanted to talk about the blow off top, because it could be coming up soon. And we're going to do a little bit more on how to transition out of Bitcoin, Ethereum into small cap coins and so on in another video. But for now, I just want you to write these little things down here. When Bitcoin tops out at the end of the bull run, it crashes, it takes everything down with it. But then we often get another week of Ethereum taking off and an altcoin season, and the altcoins really reach their all-time highs a week to 2 weeks later. And then when Ethereum comes crashing down, the smaller cap altcoins like the little bit more obscure ones, they have another week where they go up and they reach their season. Now, the end of their season. The talk of the town is that as we transition into the bear run for Bitcoin and Ethereum and most of the altcoins, it could be possible that NFTs, metaverse coins, and gaming, and there's one more, metaverse, DeFi, could possibly not have a long drawn out bear run and start coming back up, so you can squeeze more out of it. And the darling of the metaverse right now is sand. And if you were part of our Crypto Ninjas group, you would have known about this right around here when most of us got in. And look at this, boom, and that's just going and going and going, because there's a lot of excitement around metaverse. So be aware that once you've got those profits with Bitcoin, we want to be watching for signs in the market. You might not hold it in stable coins for so long, because some of those other smaller coins or the newer DeFi, NFT, and gaming projects could take off, which means you can extend the time that you are making profits. So let's just go back to Bitcoin here. We are really, really looking a little more bullish than some of the indicators. Like Smart Money's got shorts in, guys. And when they have a lot of shorts going in, every now and then they get stopped out, right? Because all of a sudden we just take off big time. But right now, Teresa, this is looking bullish to me. But I have a caveat on, is that new moon is usually the top of the market, and new moon happens late tonight when most of us are sleeping in the United States, going into the following day. So
yeah,
we might.
That's worth noting, that when we talk about failed patterns or failed breakouts, in the crypto space, we call them fake outs or failed patterns. Bulkowski, who's done all the research on chart patterns, calls them busted patterns. But there's really good probability when you have a failed breakout like this, that it will at least hit the top of the channel before it turns back around. So it's high probability that we're probably going to at least hit the top of that channel but then we might, you know, new moon, don't mess with the new moon. I think we're coming back down. So we've got two major conflicting probabilities here, because new moon usually does see a correction, but according to the statistics, the majority of times a failed pattern will at the very least hit the top of the pattern. If it breaks out in the opposite direction, it usually hits the target.
Yeah. So here's the deal, guys. This is a bear flag.
Yeah.
So retail investors, which is you and me, usually get into a long here because they see the green candle and they go, oh, it's going up, and the Ichimoku cloud's looking a little bullish, and it's going to go all the way up here. But because this is actually a bear flag, you might just get a fake out, a U-turn, and then come crashing down. So if you're not already in a long, I would be waiting for the pattern to show us which direction it's going to go in. And in this instance, I would be looking at what's happening with the breakout above this line here and a retest of it with volume and momentum for trading to head up to the target here of 64,212. This is a bear flag though, because so it could U-turn on you and then come all the way back down to 61,000, if not 60,000, because we have a lot of support down around there. Where's 60,000? It's in here somewhere, a little bit down here.
So for me, this one's a wait.
Yeah, this is a wait if you're not already in a trade, especially because it's Wednesday transitioning into a Thursday, and they can often be dumpy days. So we want to see which way the market's going to go, and you respond to that rather than try and predict it or preempt it. For Ethereum is creating lower highs here. Look, lower high, lower high, lower high. A lower high here on this green candle, which is an indication that we are reversing down. This is a rising wedge. They break to the downside more often than not. We got an M, which is a top of the pattern. I dropped this into Discord a couple of days ago. As we're going up, look at these patterns, because these will be the patterns that we're topping out. We got the pattern. Everybody knew we were topping out. We've come back down out of this triangle. We've come back down to come back up to retest the previous support line as resistance, and we've now come back down again on this red candle, got rejected off of it, and then posted a lower green candle. So the target for this is 4,413, but we're very close to the golden ratio of the movement from the swing high to swing low here in this area, and that is sitting at around 4,383, and then we've got the market Fibonacci level of 4,376. Watch for a bounce here. My sense of it is that since we're in Moonvember, and this is we're not going to get like a 30, 40 or 50% crash here, right? They'll be just normal retracements to create more foundation for the upper movement. I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong, but you want to watch for the bounce here and not get too excited that we could be going down to even lower levels, right? You prepare for that and have your buy orders in if the really cheeky buy low level orders in, if that's what your trading strategy is. But if you're not sure what you're doing, we want to see a bounce off here before entering along. Would I enter a short? I'm not in November. No shorts November, because we've seen too many U-turns. Do you agree, Teresa?
I'm on that one too. I personally, unless you're a scalper or an extremely experienced trader, shorting against the dominant market direction is almost double or triple the risk. So you've got to be someone who's sitting and watching at your computer and really understanding what you're doing if you're ever shorting against the dominant market trend, or trading against the dominant market trend is what I should say. Right now, the dominant market trend is still bullish, so I'm not shorting, especially in November, because November is usually a really strong month.
Exactly. And so the retracements are just going to be a normal, potentially normal blip in the Richter scale of heading up. So now's the time to set up your longs. It's like, let's have a look at these retracement areas, set your alarms just above the Fibonacci levels that I mentioned, and get ready with your buy orders and for those longs. And guys, we talk a lot about scenario trading here. And one of the scenarios we talk about are the days of the week. Normally, we get a little bit of a flurry on a Wednesday, which we've got a little bit here. But by Wednesday afternoon going into Thursday, if we've generally been trending up, which we have, we start to see a correction in the market going into Thursday, Friday. Not always, but that can happen, right? Now, the second scenario are the phases of the moon. The new moon is usually where just the day before, the day of, or the day after, we start to see the topping out of the rally that we've had, which we've just had here. And then it's possible we could come back up again and go back up above 4.6, 4.7 today. That is possible, but it's not looking likely. Bitcoin's going down. That's what that alarm is telling me. It's going down. And as we go into the new moon, we get to the top and then we start coming down to the full moon. And the full moon is usually when we bounce back up and head back up again. So for the next week, it's possible, or at least the next 4 days, we could get a retracement because it's new moon tomorrow, and tomorrow is a Thursday. So we've got a little bit of confluence there, and it looks like it's already starting today, right? Because we're going into Wednesday afternoon here in the United States. So again, it's set up for your longs, preserve your capital, and don't get wrecked. Now, the coin that somebody wanted me to look at was Revolotto. I haven't heard of it, so I'm just going to be doing straight TA on the chart. Where is it? Revolotto. I don't even know if it's in here, is it? Revolotto. Is that it there?
What's the ticker symbol is what we need to know.
Yeah. Dana, can you tell me what the ticker is? So it's not Revolution.
We need to be able to pull it up on TradingView. I'm not seeing it here on TradingView.
No. So we need the ticker. Okay, cool. We'll come back to it. We said we would look at SHIB INU, and SHIB INU is getting a well overdue correction here. Let me just get rid of the Ichimoku cloud. We're definitely in very strong consolidation here, Teresa. Do you still have SHIB INU?
Yeah, I do. And that's a beautiful bull pennant, right? So, you know, if you look at it on the longer time frame, it is, yeah. So if you look at it on the daily, it's
look at that.
It's really looking like a nice bull pennant, right? So, you know, that's actually, I'm happy to see these corrections in SHIB, because if it goes up too fast, then we're looking at a blow off top, right?
Yeah.
So that like a pennant like that gives it a lot of stability. So we'll see if it keeps going sideways, we might be looking at a Bart Simpson. If we see a breakout here, we might have more upward action to go. So I'm sort of waiting to watch. But SHIBA INU is one of my lottery ticket altcoins. Like, so I'm doing a little bit of spot trading to accumulate it. But, you know, for me, this one is a buy and hold and see what happens, because I think it's got solid enough fundamentals that it might be one of the winning altcoins in the long run.
Yeah, I've spot sold 75% of my SHIB, which is the SHIB that I'm not staking for a pullback. And if you look at the RSI, this is just crazy town.
Yeah, just when it's riding out above the RSI like that. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, so we're well overdue. So even though this is a bullish pattern, Teresa, it's possible that it could actually turn out to be a Bart Simpson.
Yeah,
so
that's a really high possibility in my world. So I think I'm in wait mode with SHIB INU. I took a little bit out to spot sell if it corrects. Or rather spot sold a little bit to buy back if it corrects, but this will be interesting to see what it does here.
Yeah. And Kelly, I see your question. What do you think about the 5.7 billion wallet holder who started moving SHIB? Do you mean started selling? I sold right up here, and I'm getting ready to buy back in if we get a Bart Simpson or when we get the retracement. Somebody's asking about Band. I will look at Band next. But guys, I think like everybody's going on and on about it, you know, like the traditional guys that love Bitcoin and they love Ethereum and they've been around for a while. They don't like SHIB because of the whole meme coin and everything. But when you dig down and you go into SHIB Swap and you look at their website, they are building an ecosystem that's building in value and utility. So I think they're doing something that Doge aren't. And SHIB INUs are really cute.
Well, Doge is a SHIBA Inu, so you know.
Is it? I didn't know, because I don't know. I'm just learning about
Doge
all
dog
of this.
is actually a SHIBA Inu dog. And you know, for some reason there's Shiba Inus all around the crypto space. It's funny. A lot of the big crypto guys own Shiba Inus too, so I don't know why. But yeah, I'm with you there. Like when you're wanting to bet on a coin, especially in the altcoin space, because from a gross influence perspective, we know a number of these coins are going to go away. They're not going to exist in 5 years. So I love to look at what are the ones that are really building a community? What are the ones that are building an army? And does the army love the coin? And SHIB is starting to look like that. Like they've got a lot of utility built in and they've got a lot of people participating in that utility. So that's a good indicator for a coin.
Yeah. And I've promised myself 2 lottery tickets for this cycle. One of them SHIB and the other one is Dogelon or Elon. So no Doge for me. Okay, so for Band, this is a good training for all of you guys. Whenever you're looking at your coins, the first thing you want to do is you want to come over to the monthly on TradingView and put your lines in for where the tops were and where the bottom is, right? So that you can see what is the pattern. And this pattern here is kind of looking a little bit like a megaphone, which means that the higher we go, the greater the volatility that can happen in the coin as a pattern, right? So if we did it like that and we've got a megaphone, we're at the bottom of it. So obviously, you know, coming up good opportunities to buy after this next dip. If you've got good fundamentals, I believe, that back up the coin. If we have a look on the daily, you have a channel here. So it does look like we're going to potentially get a correction to the downside, and that's on a daily. So to have a channel on the daily is a little bearish. And let's bring in the Ichimoku cloud. Yeah, so this is, you've got good buying opportunities at around about $6.72 if we get a pullback. But here's the deal. You've got to make sure that there's good enough fundamentals in your coin that it's going to bounce back, because at this stage, it should be showing greater strength in price action, in my opinion.
Yeah, one thing that's really important to remember, guys, is the only assets that have a lot of maturity to them in the crypto space are Bitcoin and Ethereum. The majority of other assets are still performing like a young asset. So we can do the technical analysis and mark the lines in, but these immature assets often operate very unpredictably. That's why on a lot of these altcoins, I'm only spot trading. I would never do a leverage trade, and I'm very cautious about my trading. Yeah. So just to always keep that in mind with everything we say here.
Yeah, exactly. On the 4, and this is what I do, guys. I go month, day, 4 hour, and then 1 hour, and then I'll niche in on the trade, right? And I just do that with absolutely everything. So you see here, that is maybe a cup and handle, possibly, and we could possibly have already broken out of it, right? The Ichimoku cloud, we've got the lagging span. This purple line is behind, above the green cloud. We've got nothing but green cloud ahead of us. We've got the baseline red bottom to the conversion line green top, but you've got the dip in the Ichimoku cloud. So that could be the new moon dip, in which case we could come back down to the bottom here to 8749. And if we do that and break down, this is a bearish pattern, it could break down. So we do have a traditional contradiction in the patterns. We've got a bullish pattern and we've got a bearish pattern playing out. So which one is going to win is you're going to have to watch here. Looks like we're topping out here, starting to get a top out in price. So if we don't break higher in the next 4 hour candle and we actually break lower, we could be seeing a trend to come back down, retest the neckline, watch if we bounce off of there, or if we continue to head down. And that target there would mean that it's breaking out against the odds. The odds of this breaking down are 80% higher than the odds of it breaking up. If it breaks
we've got
up,
a bit of a bearish divergence on the RSI there too. It's weak, but there is a divergence there, right? If you look at the last high and this most recent high, that's trending downward. And when the divergence is in the highs on the RSI, that's bearish. If the divergence is in the lows, that's bullish.
Yeah, somebody's asking about Tezos, so we'll do that quickly and then we'll go. But here we're seeing the what do you call it? Quick the Bitcoin dump. Somebody said dumpish divergence on SHIB daily. Kelly, I'll look at that in Discord. For those of you who want more TA, we do TA all day. Not all day, every day, but most of the time for the day traders in there. And you can go over to Conscious Crypto and in the Discord server and just join, and we can go over because we need to finish up here soon. So we'll do Tezos to begin with. But the biggest thing is here, Teresa, is that given that's the new moon and given that there are bearish divergences across the board, let's go back over to see what's happened with Bitcoin. Oh, look at that.
Wow. And we weren't watching that live. That's a beautiful market dumping situation that, you know, if you were trading tighter horizons, that
exactly. Guys, if you guys are the crypto ninjas, Kelly, any of the other crypto ninjas on here today, you had a buy order in at 60,000. So that would have fired off now. So I'll go into Discord directly afterwards and put in your targets. But look at that. That is cheap. And then the CM Williams VIX is saying now we're going to go back up again. Yeah. So I wonder if that was the dip, Teresa. That's crazy.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, we got to do tutorial on trading market dumping too, because that's a beautiful market dumping scenario.
Yeah.
I was wondering when your alarm went off if something was going on, and I didn't go check the charts, and I should have.
Yeah, so. No, that was an indication for me. But luckily, I've got buy orders in, so down here. So I'm probably in a trade now. It looks like we could continue to come back down here. We shall see. Again, go over to Discord, guys, Conscious Crypto, and we'll continue the conversation in there. Somebody wanted to ask about Tezos. Is that right?
Yep, Tezos will be up next.
I sold my Tezos. Wasn't moving fast enough for me. This looks like a megaphone pattern as well. Look at that. Yeah, classic megaphones. There's a lot of volatility here. Basically, what that means, if it's going to trade between the resistance and the support, it could dump. You know, like it could have those big dumps, just like what we saw with Bitcoin with those big wicks coming down. So be careful. Possibly that on the monthly, we're creating a cup and handle. Here's the cup, there's the handle. Let's go down into the daily. I'm leaving the Ichimoku cloud in there because Ichimoku cloud looks like we've got a bit of consolidation happening here. We've had a bit of a rundown. So we'll probably get into some consolidation. That is a, would you call that a descending channel there that it's broken to the upside on? Come back down, tested as support, but it hasn't fired back up to go above this candle here. So it's running out of momentum and not got enough steam to push it up. So what's
now
that?
ETH is dumping. You know, I was just actually waiting for a pause to mention that.
ETH isn't dumping, ETH is pumping.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, let's flip over and look at the other coins, because often when there's a big move in Bitcoin, we get, oh yeah, we did have a little dump on ETH and now it's coming back up. We often get ETH and often XRP following suit shortly afterward. But I actually see all three of them dump down in the last hour. So that's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, ETH dumped down. No, ETH hasn't. It dumped down a little bit, right? But then it came back up again. And then XRP is taking off as well too. That's a Bart Simpson, guys. I warn you about this all the time in the Discord server. When you see these bear flags in a bull run, often they don't play out to the downside. We get a Bart Simpson instead. So this is really exciting. So we still might see a moon today, Teresa. We might still have another higher high here before we get the big dump. But back to Tezos, let's get down into the 1 hour. See if there's any.
I just want to mention before we go back to Tezos, when there's a lot of market volatility like this, there could be further really big moves today. So usually a market's either really dead or lots of big moves going on. So this would be a good day to really watch the market.
Yeah, this is really volatile, but at the moment it just looks like it's consolidating. We've got Ichimoku cloud red in front of us, so it's in resistance. We're just about to get a crossover of the red baseline over the green conversion line, which is an indication that we could start heading down and probably, bounce off of this lower level $5.78 and come back up again. So I would watch out for that. So, holy crap. Yeah. So thanks. She said, you do so much, TA, honestly, don't know when you sleep.
She doesn't,
well, guys,
she doesn't.
This is it. Like this is the month to make the most potentially, right? It's possible. We could go on through December, we could go on through January, February, but in terms of those big moves, November is usually when those big moves happen. So folks, yay, we're going to go now, and we'd love for you to head on over to the consciouscryptoevent.com and grab a copy of the Masterclass series, which is the recordings from the Conscious Crypto event we had with MMCrypto, DaVinci J15, Didi Taihutu from the Bitcoin family, Jeroen von Lange, Blockchain Today, tax advisors, many more, to help you get your strategy in place for the end of this bull run, so you don't end up being like 90% of people and you sell at the wrong time, right? You want to get set up. Also, Kelly's saying, Teresa, don't forget to subscribe. We're a tutorial channel teaching technical analysis, scenario trading, strategies. We go live every Wednesday and we upload tutorial videos every day. So if you subscribe, hit the bell, click all, you're going to get notified when we do that. Teresa's little video that she did on how to trade a blow off top, we will upload that as a separate video for you. And we'll go over to Discord now and continue looking at the amazing things that are happening in the market right now. That is just
lots of volatility going on. This is exciting. XRP's pushing back upward right now too. So watch the Discord. There'll be lots going on this afternoon.
Great. Don't forget to like the video to help us out with the logarithm. And if you're new, we would love your subscription, and we will see you in the next video, which will be uploaded tomorrow. And the next live stream will be next Wednesday. Other than that, we'll see you in the Discord server at Conscious Crypto. See you later, guys.
Until next time, trade consciously.
Okay.